Good afternoon. So most people work hard for years, but they never really get ahead. Today, we're going to talk about something completely different. We're going to talk about residual income and how powerful it can be to make some real changes to your life. Let's do it.
Let's go.
So happy Friday. Today, as I said, I want to talk about linear income, which is jobs. And I want to talk and discuss the difference between linear income and royalty and residual style income, which is a very different way of earning money. When we go to school, they teach us how to get a job. That's great. It's all very, very important to learn how to pay your bills. But with royalty passive income, it's called royalty income. It can be called residual income. It can be called passive income. With an income stream that drops into the bank, whether you turn up for work or whether you don't, life can be really, really different. You know, with linear income, you're working, you get paid, but you stop working and you stop getting paid. Royalty income, residual income, you do the work one time and you keep getting that payment month after month, year after year. And it also really frees you up. And because it's Friday, it means I can go to work and sit with a wee afternoon beer because I can. And that makes me really happy. Makes me really, really happy. So what I've got here, I've got a really short video and I've kind of edited slightly of myself in years gone past, a couple of cheeseburgers ago, explaining just how different royalty residual income can be. I'll play it now.
So the traditional way doesn't work for everyone. As you can see here, we're meant to go to school, get our qualifications, and then we go out into the world and we get a job, and then we start to rank up our career in our job world. And then eventually we reach a plateau, and then we come to retirement. And then when retirement kicks in, we're expected to retire on maybe half of what we're bringing in as a full-time career. But if you've got royalty income in place, as you can see here, the royalty income curve gives you that protection, it gives you that financial security, so that all the work that you're doing over the months and years, it's compounding to set you free financially, to protect you and your family.
Linear versus residual income? So what's the difference? A linear income is directly related to the number of hours you work. So if you work 40 hours in a week, then you will expect to get paid for 40 hours of work. Put simply, it's when you trade your time for money. While this provides security, as you can be sure that so long as you put in the hours you get paid, it also means that if you stop working, you stop earning. In this kind of income, you are required to put in the hours of work every week. Whereas a residual income, also commonly referred to as a passive or recurring income, is an income that continues to be generated after the initial effort has been put in. Rather than starting each month from zero and having to work to start generating your income for that month, you instead have an income that comes in whether you choose to work or not. It comes in month on month and can actually grow over time. Think of it like how royalties work for music artists. They write a song, record it, and if it sells well, then they can earn money from that music as it ongoing. A residual income is much the same. You earn an income ongoing from all the hard work you did upfront on building online or digital assets. Although building a residual income can take many months or even years to achieve, the rewards for most are worth it. Who wouldn't want money coming in night and day, whether they work or not, month after month, year after year? Many people who earn a residual income online refer to it as freedom. It allows them to have freedom from working for someone, or freedom to choose where they live, or freedom to spend more time with their loved ones, or freedom to live the life they've always dreamed of. Although the idea of residual income may sound great, Remember, it can take time to build up. And so it's usual for people to work on this in their spare time initially, while they have a linear income to pay the bills.
Oh, sorry. Didn't expect that. So, here's my story. If you haven't, first of all, see if you have started your your royalty income journey, pop freedom in the comments. Put freedom in the comments for me. I want to see who's actually started on their royalty income, passive income journey. Who has decided that they're fed up being fed up working all the time for an employer, and they've decided to take control of their life and start building that passive income stream. Because if you started, then you are where I was when I was trapped in a really high-paying £80,000 a year car sales job, where I looked successful, where I looked happy, but the honest of it was I wasn't, because I was missing everything. I was missing all the time with my kids, and I was always beholden to somebody. Always really pissed me off having to put a holiday form in to ask trying not to get too frustrated, to ask somebody if I can get time off to spend with my family. I'm like, hold on a minute. It's my bloody family. Why am I filling in a form to ask somebody that I probably would never even go for a beer with if I can have time off to spend with my family? And that's what triggered me to think, well, for things to change, I have to change. If I don't do anything about it, I'm going to be stuck here another 5 years, and all I've done is I've wasted 5 years of my life. So for me, somebody showed me UW, didn't know much about it, thought not interested in utilities, but I was interested in freedom. So if you have started that journey, as I say, if you have started building passive income in your life, I'd love you to pop freedom in the comments. If you haven't yet done it, I'd like you to just think, why? Why not? Why are you continuing to trade time for money when that wee video there is maybe opening your mind that there's other ways of doing things? There really are other ways. And I've got a chart here I want to share. So this is a chart from the opportunity booklet of Utility Warehouse. Actually, that's a bit small. Hold on, let me just try and make it a bit bigger. No, stupid me. There we go. Now, I want you to look at this chart now. If anyone wants a copy of the opportunity booklet, it's the kind of thing I read when I came across UW. I like the data. I'm not going to just do something without doing my own research. And these are the passive income levels in our business. Now, there are 80,000 utility warehouse partners. Every one of those people has started their passive royalty income journey. Now, if you can see, as you progress, now in your normal job, this will make sense to you. In your normal job, you start as a newbie. And then as you get better at it, you maybe get a wee promotion, and then you start getting another promotion, and then you maybe move into management, and then you maybe move into senior management, and then you maybe 30, 40 years later, you maybe get into a really powerful position. And this is a similar structure that we have in our business. So everyone starts as a distributor. You pay £10 to start your own, I call it like a mini franchise. It can be as big or as small as you make it. It's all about your desire and your goals and your effort. So you start as a distributor, then you can rank up to QD, and you continue to rank up. And every time you help more people save money on their bills, and you help more people start their own side hustle, side business, whatever you want to call it, you're only looking for motivated, switched on people who are now starting to understand, shit, when I look at the economy, it looks pretty fucked. When I look at careers, people are not happy, and there's maybe another option to do it. Now, as you grow, you roll up in your UW position, your group royalty income, that's what this stands for, your GRI, your group royalty income, they get the limits that you're allowed to earn increase. So I'm an SGL, so I'm a senior group leader, so I'm capped at £10,000 a month in group royalty income. So no matter how many people I help, no matter how many people that I either help save money or help start their own business with UW, I'm not able to earn any more than £10,000 in a month in group royalty income until I achieve the next level. So therefore, all UW partners are always motivated to continue helping people, reduce their bills, to continue helping people build their own freedom, to ensure that they continue to rank up through this scale. And if you watch my shows daily, I hope you do. I'm trying to educate people in the way somebody educated me. Because initially I knew none of this. I was nearly 40 years old and I knew none of this stuff. But the chap I had on yesterday was the first person in UW to reach the very bottom of that page. He was a national network leader, 5-star. I've not got my glasses on, but it's a £1 million a year position that you're capped at. And a lot of folk would maybe think, wow, those numbers are awfully big for what some folk might look at as just a small part-time side gig. Well, it is a small part-time side gig, but everything in life that is big started small. Everything, every single massive company in the world started as a tiny company. It started as an idea. It started as a belief. It started as a passion. But this is the reason that I got involved, because when I saw that chart and I was like, right, so the more people I help, the bigger my income becomes. I'm being rewarded for being kind. I'm being rewarded for being helpful. I'm being rewarded for helping people save money. That's a win-win. I don't sell anything to anybody. I don't ask them to buy anything. I just help them pay less for boring essential services. So I thought that chat was really important because, like I say, if you just watch that video I've played about the difference between linear income and royalty style income, there's a dramatic difference. And if you are like me and you don't like the fact that you have to keep filling in a form to ask for time off, that if you wanted to roll into work at 11 o'clock, you can't because you need to be there at 9. If you're not allowed to sit and have a beer while you're on your lunch, then, I'd ask you to just think about your circumstances and whether or not you are being rewarded as to how you feel you should be rewarded. Because having lots of money is great. As I say, I was 86 in my final year. Lots of money, but I had no time because I'm working 70 hours a week to earn that income. Whereas now, I've got plenty of income and I've got all the time in the world because it's passive royalty income. Whether I touch my business or whether I don't touch my business, the team continues to do their own thing. The team continues to be motivated for their own positions. But because I've helped build and support and coach that team, then that passive income is what sets you free financially. So at 1 o'clock, as I do every day, Monday, Friday, 9 to 5. No, Monday, Friday, not 9 to 5. Shut. That's not right. Monday to Friday. Every day at 1 o'clock, I open my Zoom room for 30 minutes. And I do that to help, purely help. Because if you're like me, and a lot of folk probably are, I was quite skeptical when somebody first handed me a booklet. I'm trying to see if I've got one. No. Somebody handed me a booklet about UW, and I first of all looked at it and I just thought to myself, that sounds too good to be true. I've been busting my chops for I was in the motor trades January 98, and it was 2009. So I'd been in the motor trade for 11 years and nobody had explained passive income to me. Nobody had explained wealth building. Everyone had explained to me, go and get a job, go and trade your time for money. And I was good at it. And I'm sure you're really good at it too. I'm not putting down jobs. Jobs are important. You need to pay your bills. But it also means you'll work till 67, which is the current UK retirement age. And I think the way the economy is going, retirement ages are going to be pushed up the way, which just means you're going to be working longer if you don't have something else in play that you're touching a couple of hours a week to slowly build on the side to build a passive income to set you free so that you can do what you want, spend time with the people that you want. Something that I always, I'll leave you with this. Something that was always frustrating for me is I worked in an environment where there was about 120 people in the building that I worked, and I spent all of my time with these 120 people. But the reality is, almost all of them, there was a small percentage who I would have went and drank with socially or, engaged with socially, but almost all of them I would not have done that. But yet, because it was linear income, I was forced to mix and work with people who, I maybe didn't want to work with. I didn't want to spend my time with these people. I was only there because I needed the money to pay my mortgage, to pay my rent, to be able to provide for my two amazing children. But eventually that wears down on you. It'll wear down on you. It wears down on everybody. And the final analogy I would give you here is the story about a dog in a pub. I'm going to close off with this. And it's a good story and it's short. A guy walks into a pub and goes up to the barman and asks for a pint of Tennent's Lager, because there is no better lager than Tennent's Lager. Okay? And he hears a howling noise. And over in the corner, there's this lovely dog. And the guy says to the barman, "What is wrong with that dog? Why is it sitting there howling?" And the barman says, "It's sitting on a nail." And the guy's like, "The dog's sitting on a nail? Why does the dog not get off the nail?" And the barman says to the guy, "Because it doesn't hurt enough yet." And I want you to think about that. Because we go through life not really happy with where we are, really probably not happy with our current work environment because we're tied to linear income. We have to keep turning up to get the money. It gradually chips away at us. We start to get pissed off. We start to get angry, but we feel trapped. A lot of people are sitting on a nail and they haven't just it hasn't dawned on them that that's what's happening. You're just sitting on the nail and you haven't done anything about it yet because it hasn't hurt you enough yet. But there's three paydays to Christmas and it's going to start to hurt. So my suggestion to anyone who sees this video, whether it be now, I see there's folk watching live, that's fantastic. I'm broadcasting in 20 platforms, so there'll be people seeing this. But you need to have a think, because that's what I had to do. 86 grand a year, but I didn't see my kids. That was my nail. My nail was I was not getting to spend time with the people that I love. I love my Waynes. I always wanted to be a dad, and I'm so proud to be one. So I just wanted to ask yourself, are you sitting on a nail? Because if you are, SackTheBoss.co.uk, let's talk. Let me give you some options. If after I've given you the options, it's not for you, fantastic. At least you made a change. At least I'm starting to educate. So please research linear income. Google it. Linear income, royalty income, passive income. You need to Google that word and then think about how you currently earn your money. And once, hopefully, with me, banging the drum and hitting you over the head, you'll start to see things the way I saw it, that yes, having a job is good. We all need to pay our bills. There's no point in relying on the state. The state is not going to look after you. But have a job and have something on the side that's building so that eventually you don't need the job because you've got the royalty. As Jim Rohn, who, I don't think he has passed. Jim Rohn, very, very influential guy around the world. He advised governments. He always said, work full-time on your job and work part-time on your fortune. And if you do that, eventually you'll be able to work full-time on your fortune because you don't need the job anymore. So I'll leave you with that. I'd like to say happy Friday. Cheers to you all. I hope you have a lovely weekend. I appreciate the people that are tuning in. Please like, comment. If you're on your journey building your passive income stream, give me a comment just saying freedom. If you haven't started, ask yourself, is maybe now the time? Other than that, have a fantastic Friday. Speak to you soon.